So for a CV boot replacement, clearly you can see this one is torn right there. Pretty bad. First thing you're going to do is loosen these bolts here. Then you're going to use one of these thin. See how this is nice and thin? We'll go in like this and get that lower ball joint off. Don't hit it with a hammer or anything like that. You don't want to damage anything. Then you're going to remove this bolt here. Get it out of there so that you can drop this down. Okay, then you're just going to peel back this shield. There's just little clips. Remove the tie rod end link. Very easy. Put a lot of penetrating oil on it, and just you could use a I use a little air hammer like this. Put a nut on 18 millimeter and tap it, it'll come right out. Take a little bungee and sway the rotor out of the way. You can put a little light so you can see. Okay. And then at this point, you don't have to remove those bolts yet, since we're doing this outer one. So at this point, here's our old one, completely split, as you can see. It just fell apart. And then this was the new one. There's one of two things you could do here. So at this point, there's one or two things you could do. I have a spreader tool that can actually open this up so far that you can get it over without removing the actual end of the axle. So if you can see in here, there is actually a little it's like a clip that you spread open, and once you spread it open, you can actually pull this whole assembly off. But then all these bearings, these ball bearings, will fly all over the place. You got to be very, very careful not to lose them. What I'm going to try first is see if this tool would work that I got. I want to see if I can actually just the way it is, like this, spread it open and just slide this over that. So we'll try that. If not, no big deal. We'll just remove the end piece and repack it with grease. Luckily we got the original Porsche grease and new clamps as well. You always have to get new clamps, so that's good. And this clip here, by the way, you just pry it off carefully one by one and it will actually just come right off. This nut here you just remove with a 3/4 inch impact. Where is it? It's over here. It's a pretty beefy one, 32 millimeter. Works just fine. And then, like I said, just slide it out the side. Pretty straightforward deal here, but you just got to be careful not to damage any of these rubber pieces when you're pulling them apart on the tie rod end and also on the lower control arm. Just be very careful. So what you do is you take a pair of these Knipex pliers, spread this this little lock ring out, and as you're opening this up, you're gonna tap, have it in a vise, and tap so that it ends up coming off from that groove right there. You see that groove? And it should come out. Took a while, but just be careful. Try not to damage the actual bearings. So you can rotate it like this until you get those to line up perfectly. And as you can see, the little mark I made, you want to have it be on the same, right there, that same line. Don't pay attention to that. Pay attention to this right here. I just like to line it up the way it was before. So then you're going to put this plastic ring back on. It'll actually just clip into place, and you should be able to rotate it like this. There's a little groove where it clips into place. Be very careful not to damage it because it is plastic. All right, so what I like to do is just put some vice grips like that on the shaft to keep it from spinning. And those right there are all going to be torqued to 39 Newton meters. I'll show you all the torque specs for all the other bolts, but it's crucial that you tighten those to 39 Newton meters and mark them after you do, because down that way you know that all of them have been torqued properly.
So as you can see, we're at 340 foot-pounds or 460 Newton meters. And you're gonna have to apply a brake depressor tool. I'll show you in a second. And what I use is a 3/4 inch adapter to a 1/2 inch 32 millimeter socket. And you could just use a brake pedal depressor like that.